Here is your Atlanta, Georgia ultimate relocation guide. One of the first things that you're going to need when relocating here to Metro Atlanta from anywhere is a moving company. So here is a list of moving companies that have great reviews here in Atlanta. I have no affiliation with any of these companies. They're just some companies that I think do a great job. Peachtree Movers, Georgia Home Movers, and Bellhop Moving of Atlanta. I've got the link for their websites in the video description below. In fact, this whole video is going to have lots of links and lots of resources, so this may be a video that you want to save. Another option for making the move, moving all of your belongings, is going to be hiring one of those pod companies where they will drop off the pod in your driveway like a big container, and you fill the container with all of your personal belongings, and then they move that whole container here to Metro Atlanta, and then you can hire one of these moving companies here to unload the pod into your home. This is a super convenient way to do it, but certainly a lot of different methods, different options for moving all of your belongings here. What's up, y'all? My name is Victor with Atlanta Suburban Living, and we put out videos every week about what it's like to live in Atlanta and the suburbs of Atlanta. In this video, I've got lots of resources for you, so be sure to check out the video description where all of these links and all of these resources are going to be listed. Another one that you're going to want to do when relocating here to Atlanta is hiring a cleaning company to clean your home before you move in. Whether you're buying or renting or whatever it is, this is oftentimes a great idea. Usually the person who is selling the home or renting out the home, they usually clean the home as well, but obviously, you don't want to take that chance, so hiring one of these cleaning companies is going to be great before you move in. I've got a list of a whole bunch of companies in the video description. Okay, utilities. This is going to be something you definitely want to set up before you move in. If you're thinking about moving to Atlanta or any part of the suburbs of Metro Atlanta, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out. I'm always happy to help. When it comes to electricity or power, one of the main companies for that is Georgia Power. Sometimes you also see that individual cities or counties have their own power company, like Cobb has Cobb EMC, but Georgia Power is certainly one of the biggest wide-ranging power companies that goes all around the Metro Atlanta area. Another one is the gas company. You have Georgia Natural Gas is here in Metro Atlanta, also Gas South and Scana Energy. There are lots of gas companies, but I think these three are like the most popular ones, the main ones. I in fact use Gas South for my home and the natural gas. And then there's water. Obviously, you're going to want to set up the water account as well before you move in, but keep in mind that the water companies tend to be the biggest pain in the ass. With the electricity or with the natural gas, you can just go on the website to set up the account, super convenient. But with water, unfortunately, you need to call them and oftentimes be on hold for maybe 20 to 30 minutes just to set up this account. They're always affiliated with the city or with the county, and so as you can imagine, they tend to not be working so quickly. For internet and cable, we have Xfinity and AT&T. Not all of the areas of Metro Atlanta have fiber internet, but if it's not fiber, you may be getting something like 10 to 20 megabyte download speed. Of course, if you do have fiber, then you can get up to a gigabyte of download speed. I have 300 megabyte download speed at my home just for reference, and I pay something like $70 a month just for the internet. So I'm not sure how that compares to other states, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of what the internet costs here. Once you do get here to Metro Atlanta, another one that you're going to need to do is register your vehicle with the state. You can totally do that online, and so I've got the link for that website in the video description. You can also register your vehicle in person if you just so happen to want to go in person and do it. The cities or the counties where you live will have a tax office where you can do that in person. Also, getting a new driver's license is something you'll need to do within 30 days of living here in Georgia. Unfortunately, you're going to have to go to the DMV to do this, or what they have now changed that to the Department of Driver Services, as if changing the name of the department has helped it at all. It hasn't. It still sucks to go to the Department of Driver Services. It's still usually a super long line, and like the people who work there don't want to work there. Like it's still that kind of place. You do have to fill out a form though, and you can fill out that form online before you go, which I strongly recommend to try to limit the amount of time that you got to be at the DMV or Department of Driver Services, whatever it is they call themselves these days. Okay, registering your kids for school. This is a big one, especially because here in Atlanta and many of the suburbs of Atlanta, the school year starts a bit earlier than other parts of the country. Many times here in Metro Atlanta or many of the suburbs, they start in like the first week of August for public school. So this is certainly something that you're going to need to get done before August. You can do this online. You can register your kids for school online. There are, depending on which city or which county you're in. Another pro tip here is that you can tour these schools before you decide to move here. You can give the school a call, let them know that you want to go on a tour of the school, and they will happily show you around. This is super common here in Georgia. I don't know about other states, but this is pretty common here. You're not going to burden them to ask them for a tour. They're so helpful. The high schools, the elementary schools, the middle schools, they're all used to people asking for tours of the schools who are considering moving here. Another one that you want to get done once you move here is file for your homestead exemption. This will save you on your property taxes. It's a bit of a savings. It's not a huge savings, but you can do this online for some cities and counties, but many cities and counties, you have to file for this homestead exemption in person. You can go to the local tax office to be able to file for this homestead exemption. It's great. It's free. It's a bit of a savings, so definitely recommended. And then another thing that you'll want to get done is changing your address. You can do this at the local post office. Each one of these suburbs around Atlanta, Marietta, Alpharetta, Suwanee, all of these cities, they all have a post office. Like you don't have to go to Atlanta to find a post office or to find a tax office. They each have their own like post offices and tax offices, things like that. And you can be able to file for those homestead exemption or change your address at the post office within the city where you live. Once you've moved in and you've got all of these things out of the way, the tax thing and the registering things and the driver's license thing, once all of those things are done, I've got a few suggestions for how to adjust to your new home here in Metro Atlanta. It is my favorite thing to help people move here to Metro Atlanta and to see people adjust to living here in Atlanta well. Of course, Metro Atlanta is going to have its own vibe. It's not going to be like California. It's not fast-paced like New York. It doesn't have the coastal life of Florida, obviously. And so Metro Atlanta has its own feel and its own vibe. And one of the best ways to adjust to the new city that you live in is to go out and experience the things that the city provides. You can go to Piedmont Park or go to a farmer's market in your local city or go to a local concert or the restaurants. These are the best ways to really get a good feel for what the city is like. And when you meet people, maybe it's at the HOA, the pool, or the clubhouse or whatever, and you meet your neighbors, all of these things help people adjust to living in Metro Atlanta. And of course, it's no matter where you move to, it's going to take time to adjust. And so I love it when I see people adjust well to moving to Metro Atlanta, and it really breaks my heart when I see people move here and they just absolutely hate it and they don't adjust well. And the biggest common denominator between those two people I often see is that the people who don't adjust well don't go out and experience the things in the city. And so I highly advise, if you are relocating here to Metro Atlanta, once the dust settles and you've finished with the move, to go out and check out the city and explore the area. Of course, any city is going to have its pros and its cons, and Atlanta is no different. If you want a full list of the pros and cons of living in Atlanta, you can check out this video here. I'll see you in the next one.